We are gathered here today to sip some tea, honey. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready because this tea is what? Piping hot. Hey, you guys, it's your girl T, and I hope everybody's doing good this afternoon. Today is Monday, May 8th, and I want to come on here and, basically talk about everything that went down with the Real Housewives of Atlanta yesterday. I wasn't able to live tweet because my Twitter is not available at this point in time. But yesterday, I had finished finally watching 13 Reasons Why. So I watched that, and it was very emotional, very well put together. So then I was like, you know what? It's time for the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. Let me go ahead and check this out. And I sat there and I watched that show last night by myself. And when I tell you, this is probably the most disgusted I have ever been with this series in my life. You guys know I've been a day one fan of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was a fan when Nene Leakes had her original nose, when Kim Zolciak looked like she was damn 45 instead of 28, when Brielle was just a little girl, now she's a grown woman that her mom chooses to pimp out on Instagram. Back when Kandi had that short fire red hair, and her daughter Riley used to sit there and do the jerk in the opening credits.
I have fame and fortune, and I've earned it.
I was a fan before Phaedra Parks ever got pregnant. Back when Cynthia Bailey first appeared on the show and she looked homely as hell, looked like her and Peter were struggling and they really needed a platform.
I'm the ultimate Southern Belle. I get what I want. I know how to work it and be seen.
So I've been a day one fan of this show. I've watched every episode, even though I stopped recapping it about a year ago. It just was too much for me to recap. But I know a lot of people have been wanting me to recap this reunion. I didn't want to recap all 4 episodes. I wanted to wait to see how everything played out before I came in with my opinion of the situation. And like I said, I don't know how long this video is going to be, so just bear with me. I really want to, do a lot of editing with this video. I don't want to just come on here and talk. So when the reunion first started, the first reunion, we saw a lot of lies being exposed. We saw a lot of people, getting thrown under the bus. We just saw a whole bunch of ratchet mess. When I tell you the Real Housewives of Atlanta was trending on Twitter, #1 for hours, they're probably still damn trending, okay? Phaedra Parks was trending on Twitter. Kandi was trending on Twitter. This was black people and black women in particularly at their finest, trending worldwide based on a bullshit ass lie, based on bullshit accusations, and I was disgusted. It finally came out yesterday that Miss Southern Belle herself, Phaedra Parks, lied about everything that she had said about Kandi and Todd. If you guys remember this season, somebody, a little birdie, quote unquote, told Porsha that, Todd and Kandi had planned on drugging and raping her. When this got put out there, a lot of people were disgusted. People were attacking Kandi and calling her Bill Cosby. And, people already look at Kandi like a freak anyway because they feel like she's been with a lot of people in the industry. That's her business. But people already look at her in a very sexual manner. And so it's very hard for Kandi to defend herself. And then it came out yesterday, only after Porsha received a cease and desist letter. Porsha finally put Phaedra on blast and let the world know that it was Phaedra herself who told her about this potential drugging and raping. Check this out.
Because I heard it.
No, she said it to you, Phaedra.
No, something was brought to me. I repeated it.
No, you told me she said it to you.
Oh, see, there you go. There you go.
The lies.
There you go. This bitch, I'm telling you. Trifling. That's what I'm talking about, Porsha. You keep saying, why I think she pulled your strings? Why would she tell you like that so you can run it back to me like that? Yeah. You and I never had a
you
problem.
take the fall.
We never take the fall. Her when she called you right before you and I were going to have an argument. Are you kidding me?
Say that about somebody if you didn't tell me that.
Don't cry now.
Please, don't now.
And when Phaedra was confronted, she sat there like the fucking sociopath that she is. Unmoved, unemotional, stone-faced. Meanwhile, you got Kandi breaking down crying. Todd looks like he's about to break the fuck down. Porsha's crying. Even Sheree, has nothing to do with Sheree. Sheree is crying. Shamia is shocked. The look on Cynthia's face was priceless. Kenya Moore is just, over these two, okay, at this point. And I just sat there just like, this is insane. I never ever, from the time I first watched this series, I'm here for the shade. I'm here for the tea. I'm here for, the manufactured drama. I'm cool with that. But I never thought that this show would get to the point where people lie about something as serious as rape and drugging. I think the part that has me the most disgusted is not only the lie that was placed upon Kandi and Todd, but the fact that me, if you guys have been on my channel for any length of time, know what I went through as a young woman. And not just me, but many women out there. So I don't take things like this kindly. I don't take things like this as being a joke. I don't take them as this being funny. This shit was fucking hurtful to watch. To sit there and watch a grown woman who's supposed to be one of the best and the so-called brightest in the black community because Phaedra has a law degree, because she went to school to be a lawyer and she has all these degrees and she's highly educated, even though she's made a lot of poor choices in her dating life. She's supposed to be one of the best and the brightest, a good Southern Christian woman. And it came out yesterday that this woman lied. Straight up lied about this story about Todd and Kandi trying to drug and rape Porsha. Do you know how disgusting that is as somebody who is a survivor of this type of abuse? So many women who have been drugged, women who have been raped. This is just disgusting to me. And then especially after I just sat there and watched 13 Reasons Why I sat there and watched a 16-year-old girl slit her own wrist over rumors, accusations, and her being raped and her friend being raped.
She went into the bathroom, filled the tub, opened the box of razor blades she took from her parents' store that morning, slit her wrists, and bled to death.
This is not okay. This is not okay. And I felt so bad for Kandi. I felt so bad for Kandi because no one deserves to just have just bullshit accusations like that thrown at them. And then she didn't have a way to defend herself. Now, I want to kind of break down different things that were going on and what folks were saying on social media. One thing I noticed is that a lot of people were feeling bad for Porsha and saying Porsha was a pond and poor Porsha, and I can't believe Phaedra will use Porsha. Now, you guys know I'm a fan of Porsha. I think Porsha is gorgeous. She has an amazing body. She's funny, things like that. I think she's a beautiful woman, but I'm not going to sit here and allow you guys to make Porsha out the victim, okay? Let's stop putting grown women in their 30s in the position of teenagers. Let's stop the bullshit. This is bullshit. These girls are not 15 and 16. This is not a high school playground, and this is not a rumor spreading through a high school. These are grown women with brands that millions of not only young girls, but grown women look up to. Porsha had no business spreading that rumor on national television without proof. And let me take y'all back. If Porsha was so concerned and so disturbed, she would not have confronted Kandi in this manner. Watch this clip.
That you and your husband had planned on drugging me and take me back to your house.
You a damn lie.
All right, so you guys just saw that clip. Not one time in that clip did I get the feeling that Porsha was concerned, worried. She was basically using that as a way to throw it into Kandi's face, almost as an aha moment. Real victims, people who are scared for something like this to happen to them, I don't need a camera crew. If I find out that you're trying to do some shit to me and I know who you are, I'm coming to your house and we're going to talk about this right now. And whoever I have to call and bring into the fray, I'm going to put them on blast. This is what such and such told me. I need to know what's going down. What are you and your husband trying to put me through? What do y'all think y'all's doing? And you better hope my ass don't call the fucking police. I don't need Andy and Bravo's cameras to confront somebody about something as serious as rape and drugging allegations. So to me, Porsha's not a victim in this. Porsha knew what she was doing. She's too old to allow another grown-ass woman to use her. The only reason why Porsha is speaking out because it's about self-preservation, okay? This woman was a deacon, a pastor. Y'all remember that video I played for y'all a few weeks back of Porsha preaching to the choir and denouncing homosexuality and everything else? But now it's come out that she herself is bisexual and she slept with other women. So Porsha is about self-preservation. The reason why she's willing to throw Phaedra under the bus is because Kandi took legal action and sent her a cease and desist. And Porsha is now worried about her brand and her reputation being damaged. And you heard her tell her sister Lauren, and she also told Phaedra that, now the law is involved. Now she has a legal cease and desist.
So I'm a pawn. I'm a pawn. Were you my friend ever? And I ain't got a cease and desist. This is some serious criminal shit.
Exactly.
Porsha is worried about that. She was not worried about Kandi and Todd when she decided to open her mouth about that rumor. At the end of the day, these people don't have to be best friends. They don't even have to talk outside this show. But what nobody has a right to do is put out false allegations. These are serious charges, and had nobody investigated, had Phaedra not been put on blast, this could have done serious damage to Kandi and Todd's brand. The police could have started investigating them. All types of stuff could have happened because of this lie. And Phaedra was willing to let this lie continue until Porsha was like, you know what? I'm not about to go down legally and mess up my brand for no damn body. That is why Porsha spoke up. It wasn't about Todd and Kandi. It wasn't about her being used. It was about her own selfish wants and needs. So I'm not buying the whole Porsha's a victim and she was a pawn. Porsha's a grown-ass woman who's very smart. She knows the Bible frontwards and backwards. She was preaching the gospel of Jesus. There's nothing dumb about Porsha. Don't let this persona fool y'all. A dumb woman cannot build the brand that she has built. She has a lingerie line, a hairline. She's working with Ricky Smiley's morning show. A dumb woman would not be able to market themselves in the way that Porsha has been doing. So to me, she's not a pawn and she's not innocent in this. And I will not allow people to try and make her out to be a pawn or a victim. The main victim in this situation is Kandi and Todd. Now on to the next. Nene was also on social media and she was sending out a bunch of tweets. She was going off. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what Nene was saying. Check this out real quick. All right, so you guys just saw Nene's tweets. And to me, I understand where Nene's coming from. But Nene herself, to call these women thirsty, I find that funny. Because Nene was thirsty for the first 8 damn seasons on this show, okay? The reason why Nene is so upset now when she's tweeting and she's trying to act like she's really concerned is because she wants to get back on Bravo. She thought that she could hold the show hostage and go to Hollywood and she would be so much bigger than these women. But that didn't really pan out for her. So now she's trying to find her way to come on back. And so hence she's constantly speaking on this whole Phaedra and Porsha situation. But I'm glad that Nene sees through the bullshit and that she understands that Porsha was not a puppet in this. That Porsha was a willing accomplice. So let's not get that twisted. A lot of people were very upset about Kenya Moore because she kept making little sly comments. And they said that Cynthia was trying to act super innocent, which I agree with. Cynthia is not innocent. You know, she can be messy and throw her shade, but Cynthia has never thrown shade to this extent. And let's not act like Cynthia has done something to this level of what Phaedra has done. Kenya Moore is always going to have something to say just for the fact that that's Kenya Moore. And she's happy now because now she feels like she's been vindicated. And these 2 women that she's had issues with on this show from the time she's come on this show are not being seen in their true light. So Kendra's just doing nothing more than gloating. I'm going to let her gloat because my ass was gloating in my last video about Miley Cyrus. So I'm going to let Kenya have that. You know, like I said, to me, this entire situation is disgusting. And it really made me sad because I am a fan of this show. I genuinely had a lot of love for these ladies. I may not always like their personality, but if you guys ever watch my recaps, you guys know I'm neutral. And week to week, whoever's irritating me that week, they can get it. If Kandi does something stupid, I'm going to call her out. If Kenya does, I'm going to call her out. If it's Phaedra, Porsha, I'm going to call them out. I don't have no favorites. I just liked it, all these women, because to me, they were handling their business and they gave me something to watch on Sundays. But for this to spill out from the show onto the real world, I'm not feeling that. Also, last night, Kandi had a viewing party and Angela Stanton, the one who wrote the book about Phaedra Parks, who claimed on the show that Angela Stanton, you know, she was sued and she's not allowed to put the book out. Once again, that was another lie that Phaedra told on the show. Check this out.
You have to. So I guess you want to come and be I wouldn't have brought that lady who wrote that book about her on here to have a sit down, full, long conversation. I wouldn't do that. She tried to give me that book. I told her, girl, no, take that book away from me. But that would be just like me bringing Angela Stanton on this show to sit down with her to talk about a book and talk about how I can help her promote it.
So if the roles were reversed, would you be irritated if she did that?
I wouldn't be if that was what she did. Right now. So if I would have had Angela Stanton sitting in my office, I sued her and won the case. What did you win? Because the book's still out there, honey. Well, it should be out there. You can buy that book right now. They're talking all about you being a fraud. You can call Barnes and Noble because it's out there. I will call Barnes and Noble. It is out there.
All right, so you guys just saw what Phaedra said. Well, Angela Stanton ended up showing up at Kandi's house last night for a viewing party. Kandi had no idea that Angela Stanton was there. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys this video of Kandi talking about the situation. Check this out.
I'm going to have to say this one. This is crazy. We just saw me saying how comparing what Phaedra did to me if I would have brought Angela Stanton on our show. But guess who just stopped by tonight? Guess who just stopped by the Housewives viewing party? I did not plan it, but Angela Stanton. She's sitting here. Amazon.com. Wait, where you get the book?
Lives of a Real Housewife, Amazon.com.
Now what's your case? Dismissed?
Dismissed with prejudice.
So you can sell your book?
I can sell my book. I can tell my story. She can't do anything about it. She is forfeiting her rights.
Oh, okay. Hey, I did not plan that. She just so happened to be here. Okay, just wanted to make that clear.
I'm leaving the Gwinnett County Courthouse, 75 Langley Avenue, and I just picked up a copy of this paperwork that says, dated June 2nd, 2016, by the Gwinnett County Clerk, that Phaedra, plaintiff Phaedra C. Parks, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby dismisses with prejudice her complaint against the defendant filed in the above style action. See, this is how you shut down a rumor. You just hit them with facts. Lives of a Real Housewife, available on Amazon. Big shout out to Kandi. Kandi had no idea that I was coming through last night, but much love and respect to her.
Right, so you guys just saw that video. Now, Kandi did later on delete that post, but you know we don't play that on social media, honey. When we see something, we grab it. So even though she deleted it, I still had it. So that proves right there that even on this reunion show, Phaedra was still lying, because you can still find Angela Stanton's book on Amazon. And I talked about the Angela Stanton situation a few years ago. Everything that Angela Stanton is saying in that book is very, very factual. I believe everything that Angela Stanton is saying. So now on top of that, Kandi also went on to V103 today, and she had a very, very good interview. She definitely got emotional at the end. And she spoke out a lot, and she spoke out about the reunion and how she felt and how it was hard for her watching it back. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a small snippet really quick. Check this out.
Watching it all over again. And, you know, did you get upset all over again?
I did, and I wasn't even expecting that. My eyes were actually tearing up while I was watching it on national TV, and try to damage me like that in that way.
Right.
It's like, okay, come on. I know we throw shade at each other. Or,
you said that last night.
You know, like, but this is a whole new low.
Yeah,
you know. Yeah.
Drugging people.
Yeah, you can't just do that. And then to me, I feel like it's like, okay, you want to tear down my businesses and stuff like that. Right. Obviously, you're trying to come at me in a way where people won't respect me anymore. Right. And, you know, and clearly they just was saying whatever to try to, I guess, quote unquote, take me down, I guess.
Right. Because you said last night about the hashtag, you know, Kandi, a.k.a. Bill Cosby. Did that, when people started, you know, hearing all that stuff, and did people come to you on a business tip and go, I don't know about these relationships? Were you at all worried that this might damage your brand?
Oh, I was definitely worried. I mean, because, you know, one of my businesses is Bedroom Candy. And so to me, it's all about, you know, people already want to make sex look like it's something negative anyway.
Right.
So it's like if you, do anything or participate in something like drugging and all that kind of stuff, like
It's not going to be good.
No, that's totally. People don't even want to have anything to do with you when you have something to do with a scandal like that. So I mean, look at all the other people that are going through scandals where they've been accused of things. Like they don't even normally get a chance to have their day in court or speak up for themselves before all the brands pull out from them.
Right.
They're not used for anything anymore. It's like stay away from that person.
Exactly.
And so to me, I feel like that was kind of what she was trying to accomplish with me.
All right, so you guys just saw that video. So, like I said, to me, Phaedra is a very evil person. She has a very, very evil personality. She has no remorse for what she did and was even still lying to Porsha when she made that little sly remark talking about, I had to say something because, it would hurt me if they actually did something to you. Like, bitch, really? You're lying about the entire situation, but you're still trying to convince Porsha that somehow it's true.
Porsha, I'm sorry. Phaedra, did you honestly believe that she would do that?
I didn't know, but
Enough to repeat it to me as it was truth?
When something would have happened to you, I would have been a bad friend.
So you really felt like Todd and Kandi wanted to drug me? Enough to lie and say that she told you herself? They ain't never said nothing to deserve no like that, and you know that.
I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't know if it was true or not.
But I f***ing asked you, was it true?
Even if somebody supposedly told her that, she was friends with Kandi for years. And she's never seen Kandi drink or do drugs. So why would you repeat that? Why would you not confront Kandi about that off camera to see if there's any validity to it? As opposed to spreading that rumor and getting this back over to Porsha in hopes that Porsha would repeat this on national television. Phaedra is a very spiteful, vindictive person. And the fact that she's a lawyer says a lot because most lawyers lie, especially defense attorneys. She literally wanted a way to burn Kandi. And all of this stems from what she perceived as, Kandi not being loyal to her. What she perceived as Kandi and Todd being disloyal and not really fooling with her and being closer to Apollo than they were to her. And what made matters worse is that she literally had nothing to say. When they were confronting her, when Andy Cohen was confronting her, when Kandi, when Porsha, when everybody was saying, Phaedra, say something, own up to it. Even Todd was saying, just admit that you lied. And the bitch sat there with a stone-faced expression and really didn't say anything. Had no explanation for her for what she did to these people. Had no explanation for her lies and her bullshit. So I want to end this video by saying this, because I don't want the video to be too long. I want to end this video by saying that I feel very, very bad for Kandi. Like I said, all these women are messy. All these women throw shade, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with throwing a little bit of shade about somebody's weight or what they wore to the party or to the event. I get that. That's part of the cattiness of reality television. But when it spirals into the real world and when you start throwing out rape and drug allegations, I can't get with that. This just shows the level of jealousy that people have when you're doing the right thing and you're being blessed. Kandi has been in industry since she was about 14 years old, never got herself involved in drugs and booze and stuff like that, which is a rarity coming from that industry. Not only has she been able to maintain her money from Escape, and for being a writer on TLC's projects, Mariah Carey's projects, and a bunch of other songs that this woman wrote, this woman has been able to not only save her money, flip it, get on this show. She has created a legacy and a brand for her daughter and her son. She has literally created generational wealth for her children. On top of that, she's hired a lot of people across the country to work on her bedroom candy line. Her restaurant hires a lot of Black individuals to run her restaurant. So she's also providing jobs for other people who may not have access to jobs, who may not have access to capital. Kandi has been able to provide that. Phaedra can't say that. Porsha can't say that, but Kandi can. And I think that a lot of this stuff stems from jealousy, unfortunately. And this is unfortunately sometimes what we see in our own communities, and especially between women. The jealousy, the cattiness, anything to try and ruin somebody's brand, somebody's reputation. It's really sad and it's really unfortunate. For a long time, Kandi was a single mom working hard to take care of her daughter. Now she's with Todd. Kandi has worked hard and now she's receiving all these blessings. She has her child. She has her business. Her having that baby that Porsha wants so much might be where Porsha's underlying jealousy comes from. And Porsha may not even realize that. because this is not a rumor that you repeat. And you don't tell somebody about this on national television in the manner in which she did. She was literally gloating that she had one up on Kandi. Meanwhile, Kandi has that baby and that husband that you desperately want, Porsha. Kandi's building a legacy for her children, a brand for her children that you desperately want, Phaedra. Because you can't pass down your law degree to your son. You can't pass down working for somebody else's mortician funeral home down to your son. But Kandi has her own legacy and brand and businesses that she can pass down to her children. So a lot of this shit stems behind jealousy. It really does. So while these smart, beautiful, educated black women were sitting here engaging in slander and making up lies, the funny thing is Andy Cohen is laughing his ass all the way to the bank. Him and Bravo make millions of dollars off of these black women's pain, their drama, Sheree and Bob talking about their abusive situation, Cynthia and Peter going through their divorce, Kenya Moore and all her issues. They make millions of dollars off of these women. And meanwhile, it's Kandi's brand that's taking the hit. It's Phaedra out here looking stupid and Porsha out here looking stupid right along with her. And I love when Kandi confronted him on camera and said, Andy, what do you think about this? And he tried to play dumb. Think about what? And she went off on him.
What do you think about what just happened?
What do you mean?
What do I mean? What did you think when she sat there and Phaedra admitted that she said it?
I'm shocked.
You're shocked too, right?
Yes, of
I'm
course.
like, I just couldn't believe that.
Kudos to you, Kandi, for calling him out on his bullshit. And I've called Andy Cohen out several times before. That he's one of the biggest instigators. He's behind a lot of this shit. And he watches it unfolds and he sits there and rubs his hands together like Birdman because he knows at the end of the day he's going to get the views, he's going to get the ratings, he's going to get all the money without anybody calling him out, without his brand being affected. So kudos to Kandi for calling him out on his shit. I think Kandi needs to reevaluate and see if this is a platform that she needs to be a part of. Kandi, you're not broke. You have plenty of money. You're not struggling. You're not some, online personality trying to make it day to day. At this point in time, Kandi, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it to put yourself, your marriage, and your family's well-being through this type of bullshit? When this show started, it was called The Real Housewives of Atlanta. At that point, a majority of them were married. Now, the only married couple left is Todd and Kandi. Everybody else has separated, gotten divorces and everything else. So Kandi and Todd need to ask themselves, is it worth it to continue with this show, to continue to allow themselves and their brand to be exploited and disrespected? That's something that Kandi's going to have to sit and think hard about. I personally think that Andy Cohen needs to fire Phaedra. She no longer needs to be on this platform. When you're just sitting here making up bullshit to try and ruin somebody because you assume or think or feel that they were disloyal to you, there should be no reward for that. She should not be rewarded with a TV show. I think this whole situation is just disgusting and ridiculous. And people last night took to social media to go off. They were on her Instagram page going in on Phaedra, sending her threats. It was crazy. Social media went nuts last night. I'm going to show you all the comments, the tweets, and what folks had to say. Check this out. I'm going to come back with the rest of my commentary.
Yes, ma'am.
What did Phaedra Parks tell you to do?
I mean, there was everything is very detailed in the book. I don't want to give away too much of the information because, of course,
I got it. But you're going to tell me some stuff today,
right? Well, basically, the first scheme started out. It was insurance fraud. It was involved opening up bank accounts and fake IDs and fake checks and depositing these checks into these accounts and withdrawing this money. This is stuff that we were doing in 2004. So the fact that Apollo was arrested for the same thing in 2014 leads me to believe that this has been going on for over a decade.
But now let me ask you this. You went to jail.
I did.
They didn't go to jail. So why is that?
Well, actually, Apollo did get arrested, and he went, as well as my co-defendant, Everett Trapadas, who is his close friend. Phaedra didn't go because I didn't tell. At that time, I didn't have any reason to implicate her or to bring her in. I felt as though telling on her would only make things worse. I was already caught. I had children that were out there. I needed Phaedra. I needed her to do everything that she said she would do.
So when you were in jail, what did she do for you?
Absolutely nothing.
So she just left you?
Kind of, sort of, just like that.
And then when she left you like that, why didn't you tell then?
I had already been sentenced. I had already went through the process. And then when the feds came, it still wouldn't have benefited me to tell, because at this point, my mother died. My grandmother died. I had absolutely no one on the outside except Phaedra. It wouldn't have helped me any kind of way to implicate Phaedra. I needed her at this point. I needed an attorney. I needed somebody in my corner to ensure that I would come home to my children. That was my impression. I thought that would happen. I thought that my loyalty to her would be enough for her to have loyalty to me in return.
All right.
Things don't happen like that.
Okay.
All right. So you guys just saw the comments, the tweets, and what folks had to say. So like I said, this whole situation to me was just insane. I was not expecting this. And for all of this to come out as a lie, like I said when I started this video, was an insult to real victims of not only drugging, but rape, abuse, molestation. To just make up some shit like this, to me, is just evil and downright spiteful. So I don't want to make this video too long. Like I said from the beginning, it's already about to hit 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this entire crazy situation concerning the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. How did you guys feel about this after you guys watched it last night? And then how do you feel about everything coming out that it was a lie? How do you feel about Andy Cohen basically, being behind this brand and allowing a lot of this stuff to go down and nobody ever calls him out? I've been one of the few to do that, and I'm glad that Kandi did that as well. And do you agree with me that Porsha is not innocent? She's not an innocent schoolgirl on the matter, and that Porsha very much knew what she was doing when she chose to expose this on national television. And that the only reason why she's speaking out and throwing Phaedra under the bus is because of Kandi's cease and desist letter. So I want to know y'all's thoughts on this entire situation. I want to know how everybody feels about this. Like I said, I'm so disgusted by this entire situation. It was so emotionally draining after it went off last night. I just couldn't even believe what I watched. I couldn't believe it. So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right. Deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.